Welcome back to Parent Talk 360. It is the stroller show. Now we've got UPPAbaby. Now UPPAbaby is a very well-known brand. They've kind of been the benchmark for strollers. One of the most popular strollers is the UPPAbaby Vista. We've got it here in a beautiful new color as well. My personal favorite, and I got to tell you, this is the winner this year of the 2013 stroller show of coolest and nicest stroller, I personally think, is the Cruz. So this is the one that I've chosen to be my favorite. Last year it was a baby jogger, and prior to that it was a Stoka. So this year I got to give it to UPPAbaby and the Cruz. I love it. I love the color. It's awesome. But when you've got one of the most popular strollers in North America for your average daily mom and going all around for your average stroller, they've done quite a bit. And we're going to show you right now what these models have to offer. We're also going to go to an interview right now as well. So let's take a little closer look at these, then we're going to go to an interview. So the one thing that I really like about the simplicity of the Cruz is that it's simple but yet elegant at the same time. Simple stuff from you can actually go back, you can change your positions over here, you can adjust your footrest, you can do all these types of things. You can take the seat, go front facing, rear facing. Plus on top of that, I mean, UPPAbaby is known to have huge storage and a huge basket, but I mean this is beyond unreasonable, people. This is huge, okay? This is crazy. Put another stroller in this thing. It's so great. It's huge. And I can't tell you, unless you're actually using this right now, how light this thing is. It is super light. Like, I'm not standing, I'm on one knee and I'm holding this up with almost basically one hand. I'm a very weak individual. Very, very weak. But I love the idea in the canopy. Look at this thing. All this extra for UV ray protection. Open this thing up. Nice little peekaboo. It's a beautiful stroller. And one of the things that I love most about this is the simple way that you can just push this thing up. Okay, now it's adjustable, your handlebar. And basically you want to fold? Well, I'm going to show you a simple fold. You push up, push down, it's folded. Another great feature here that a lot of people don't mention is I can stand this thing right up because it locks automatically, and look. Got my kids in one hand, got my bags in the other hand. Don't even know how I had a stroller to begin with, and the stroller just stands there. It's pretty unique. I mean, to me, this is great. So like I said before, the UPPAbaby Vista is known worldwide to be one of the most popular strollers, period. Now, this is a beautiful new color that UPPAbaby has. It's great because it's very gender neutral, which is a very, very popular thing. You always see different people out with different colors of strollers, and then you can tell, oh, that's a boy, or that's a girl, or I don't know. But anyways, a lot of people like to get different color strollers to identify those. Don't know why, whatever the case is. Beautiful gender neutral color stroller. I love it. The bassinet feature is great. Now, one of the great things about UPPAbaby, once again, is that when you buy the Vista, you get the bassinet with it. So, which is great. And we were going around before, my wife and I, we had our daughter who didn't necessarily love being in a bassinet because she's 9 months, but we just tried it on to be fun. And she was having a great time. We were playing a little tummy time in there and making her giggle, so she was having fun. And it was great, beautiful, sturdy, as you can see. I mean, this by itself is a fantastic piece. Now, a lot of babies and infants will actually sleep in this for the first couple of months. So this is a great thing. And the fact that it comes with it with the stroller is fantastic. Now, once we look more at the stroller, you can see why this is one of the most popular strollers that there is. The frame is high quality, but it's a light frame, which means you can do a lot stuff with this stroller, and it's not heavy. And that is one of the massive selling features of the stroller. Once again, also, if you look at the basket, huge. I mean, UPPAbaby, they just go above and beyond. They're known for their huge and massive strollers. You know, the seat, once again, goes both sides. Everything over here is adjustable. There's a really great fold to this stroller as well. It's pretty simple. You just push down over here on the top. I'll show you very quickly before we go to the interview that we have. But you bring it all the way down here. You push into over there like that, and then you bring it down right to the bottom, and there you go. Beautiful, nice fold. And the great thing about this is the stroller locks up automatically right afterwards. So that's a beautiful feature. Great stroller. Right now we're going to go to the interview again, and we're going to hear more about the UPPAbaby, about the Vista and the Cruz. Welcome to Parent Talk 360 from UPPAbaby. We've got Trung Fung, who is the creative director over there. Trung, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you, Aaron?
I'm doing fantastic. I've got my cup of coffee over here. Just had my chance to enjoy the UPPAbaby Vista and Cruz. Gotta say,
Excellent.
I love it, buddy. Absolutely.
That's great.
Love it. So what I want to do is I want to ask you, first of all, about UPPAbaby, about the company, and then I want to get into the stroller. So tell me a little bit about the company, the history, and where you got from the beginning to where you are right now.
Sure. We started the company in 2007. I think we sold our first stroller in 2007. It was started by Bob and Lauren Monahan in South Shore, just about 20 minutes south of Boston. And Bob's been in the juvenile industry prior to starting the company for, I think, about 10 years. First with the first years, and then at Safety First, Durrell Juvenile Group. That's where Bob and I had actually worked together. And he just decided that, they had their first child and decided that they wanted to, design a stroller, build a stroller that was a stylish stroller but was very functional, and it was a really good value. And that was actually the genesis of the company. That we started the company with the Vista, which is, it's our top of the line stroller. It's our showcase product. It's a full feature stroller with comes with a bassinet and a lot of great convenience features. And from there, it just sort of kept growing and growing. And I couldn't really tell you how we've grown so fast, but we're certainly excited about it.
Well, the great thing about it is that it's when I just found out the fact that you're only about 5 to 6 years old. For me, it's very unique because I keep thinking that UPPAbaby is the leader in strollers with the Vista, and that's really how I've my perception is for the past 2 years. Because every time I see an UPPAbaby, I'm like, wow, they're everywhere. And just to know that it's a fairly new company. I mean, wow, to have that many people have that stroller.
Yeah, we tapped into something. I mean, it's about I guess it was about 2.5 years ago. We just had a year that we couldn't figure out what happened really in terms of the explosive growth we had. But I think the only thing that contributed to is just that, when the economy started to get sour, people really became value conscious, and that's when we really became popular, because people realized that, they wanted a really nice stroller. They wanted a stroller that can grow with the family. They wanted a stroller that can last, 6, 7, 8 years. But they wanted a good value, and the Vista, it comes with all your necessary accessories. It comes with a bassinet. It's a separate thing. It's not something you build out of the main seat, and it's built like a tank. That thing is made to last forever.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sort of launched the Vista into everybody's radar, and that they just thought, well, we want a nice stroller, but we're not going to be buying a stroller every couple of years. So it just became something that people really became aware of, because it's a really good value.
Yeah, so let me ask you a little bit before we get into the Vista and the Cruz. I want to ask you about the name UPPAbaby. So I'm trying to figure out if the name has a meaning, if it's to do with the stroller, with the frame. What is the name? Where does it come from?
It came from, actually, it's a cute little story. McKenna, Bob and Lauren's second child, when she was 2 years old, when she wanted to be carried, she would just say, "Uppa, uppa." And, they struggled long and hard to try and find a name for the company, and just, I think one day, she asked to be carried at the right time when they were trying to look for a name. It just sort of all clicked together, and that's where UPPAbaby came from.
So now the world knows where the name came from. It came from a 2-year-old. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
So we should fire all the advertising firms out there and just hire babies.
Well, the way this is happening, you never know where inspiration comes from.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's a great story. Wow. So, when she grows up, she's going to realize that everybody out there with a baby and with a stroller out there has her idea on it. So that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, and actually, we go even one step further with that. With it, all the strollers, the colors have names on them, and all the names are actually based on children in the company. So the first 3 colors that came out were the black, which is the Jake, which is Bob and Lauren's first son. The McKenna, which is a purple, and then there's the Denny, which is a red, and Denny's their third son.
Wow.
And since then, every color we've released is a child of an employee of the company.
So it's got that, when I think of UPPAbaby without knowing the company before talking to you, I would just assume it's this massive company. It's been around forever because it's so popular. But now once talking to you, I feel it's a more tight-knit, small, loving community of people building strollers for parents, and obviously embracing that culture with names of colors from names of people in the company. That's really, really cool. Really good corporate culture. I love that.
We're still a very tight knit group. Everybody that we do all the design development in the same building. We actually have customer service actually in the same building, which has been a big key to our growth. We're all under the same roof, and we're all it's a very open office environment, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So I think it comes across in how people perceive the product and perceive the brand is that we do have a lot of fun doing this, and we really enjoy it.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about some of the products. Obviously, the two that we have here that we've got to play around with, and I love the colors, by the way, is the Cruz and the Vista. Now, I want to go by let's start off with the steady hand of the Vista, because this is the one that I've seen everywhere, and I've always said I have to have one of these, and I never knew why. It's just the look, the frame, the design, very cool, very modern. So let's talk about the Vista. Let's talk about the features that you think that put you above other strollers in the marketplace, and then we're going to move on to the Cruz.
Okay. I think our biggest selling point for the Vista is, again, the value. It's a full-featured stroller. It's got feature for feature with any other top-of-the-line, top-name premium stroller. But some of the things that we do different that I think are great convenience features that, our biggest customer is a first-time mom. And first-time moms or first-time dads don't necessarily know exactly what they need in terms of the gear they buy. Well, all of our products are designed by seasoned parents. So we have a lot of convenience features that you sort of don't know you need until you start using these products. One of the biggest features we've got is a basket. It's a huge basket. It's one of these things where you don't realize how important that is until you spend the day out with your child and your stroller. We have parents tell us that they use our strollers like a shopping cart. We have New York parents that will literally spend the whole day out on their stroller, and the basket is a carry-all for everything. Mm-hmm. The other great feature we've got is the stands when folded. So that when you fold your stroller, you're not laying your stroller on the ground where the fabrics and the handle and all that can touch whatever's on the ground. You fold the stroller, stands up straight, and it keeps all the parts that come in contact with your child nice and clean. So I think the big factor for our growth is that as people use our products, they notice all these great little convenience features that may not be that apparent to them when they're looking at it in the store.
Yeah, and one thing that I love that I didn't even realize myself, and I absolutely loved it, was when I was looking at the accessories, and that you can get a second seat for the Vista, and I didn't know that. And I was kind of like, really? And it just opened up.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we wanted to do is make sure that this stroller is going to be around for a while. So we built it as solidly as we could, an all welded aluminum frame. And it's robust enough to take the rumble seat. So you can add a second child on the front of the seat. And the nice thing about the rumble seat, the way it works, is that it snaps on and off in a flash. And when you're not using it, you just slide it into the basket because the basket's plenty big. And it becomes your single stroller again. So you have the ability, within 10-15 seconds to go from a single stroller to a double stroller and then back again. And then, again, because the frame is so robust, we added a piggyback. So, it's funny, I've seen around town here people pushing the stroller around where they've got it fully loaded with 3 kids. And the great thing about it is when you put 3 kids on there, it doesn't really change the maneuverability of the stroller that much. Mm-hmm. And it's not often you can find a triple stroller that can push like a single stroller.
Wow. Yeah.
So the Go With Me option is a great value that you can buy the stroller and you get all these things and you can just keep adding to it and get a lot of years of use out of it.
Yeah, well, I can't say enough about the Vista. I think it's one of those benchmark strollers out in the marketplace, and I think there are a lot of companies that look at what you've done and look at what the Vista has and is and use that as a benchmark. And for consumers, I think it's sometimes you don't want to get the companies that copy the other companies. You want to actually grab the benchmark. And
right.
Big thumbs up from us at the show because we love it and we think it's a great product. And we're giving one away.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're giving one away on the show today, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so let's move over now and talk. This was every year we do a surprise stroller, and we do something where it's the stroller of the show. So say, for instance, out of 10 strollers, we say this is the one that stands out the most. And this one, 2013, is the one that stands out the most. So it's the Cruz. And I was just,
awesome.
I was blown away by how light the frame is, how maneuverable it is, and how easy it is. And that to me was kind of that mid-range stroller that's just below the all-inclusive stroller, but you have the one that's just below that has pretty much the same features, the same thing, and is just a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, and is good for maybe, someone who has one child and a little bit older, whatever the case may be. And I loved it, and I love the color. I loved everything about the stroller. This is my pick, the Cruz. So do me a favor.
Great. Yeah.
Tell me all about the stroller and why it hit me so hard and why it's hitting everybody so hard right now.
The genesis of the Cruz was that we loved the Vista. We loved how full featured it was, but the one thing that we always felt was that we wanted something more compact. Something that really for the urban parent that doesn't have a lot of room in their apartment, or has got to walk up 3 flights of stairs, or navigates really narrow aisles at the local grocery store. We thought, we want a stroller that meets that kind of life scenario. And so what we did with the Cruz is, a lot of work went into making it as light as possible. So we shaved about 4 or 5 pounds off the stroller, which is, it's a huge amount considering that the Vista is 26 pounds. And we shaved 4 inches out of the width of the stroller. And what that does for us is it allows you to have the same features as the Vista. For instance, the seat. We were able to shave the weight and the size of the stroller, but the seat dimensions are exactly the same as the Vista. So there's no compromise in terms of comfort for the child. It's front and rear facing, full recline, so when the child sleeps, he can lay almost completely flat. But like you said, it's a lighter weight stroller, and when you fold it up, it's easier to carry up flights of stairs. It's a little bit narrower, so you can go through narrow doorways without banging into the door. And it really fit this idea that you're this environment where you want something that's really quick and easy to maneuver, and it's not, it's you have the same features as the bigger stroller, but in a more lightweight, compact package.
Yeah, I know. You know what? And the one thing that stood out for me is I love colors. I'm a big proponent, and anybody who watches shows know that I talk about colors. And I love this new purple color, and I forget the name of the actual color. You'll tell me I know it.
Mauve. Yeah, that's the daughter of one of our sales reps.
Well, there you go. They're doing a great job in sales because... And their commission is going to go up because that color is gorgeous, and it is. I felt as soon as I saw the stroller, I fell in love with the color and the functionality and just the simplicity about it. And the one thing that I can say about the stroller is that it is so simple. Sometimes it is so hard to make something so simple and good.
It really is.
And companies.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. Yeah, it's things that are deceptively simple. There was a long path to get there.
Yeah, and you guys have nailed it with the Cruz. I mean, absolutely nailed it on all fronts. It is by far probably one of the best strollers that I've ever seen. So I'm very impressed with that. So what I want to do right now is I want to give you an opportunity to talk to the consumers out there, within 60 seconds, and just let them know what it is about UPPAbaby that pretty much should make them decide, hey, if I'm going to make a purchase for a stroller for myself for the next few years for my family, why they should choose UPPAbaby. What is it about UPPAbaby? Tell them, John.
I think our biggest differentiator as a brand is that we make products that we really, really, truly love. We really stand behind them. We put a lot of really cool and convenient features. We don't put features in there for the sake of features. We're not interested in specsmanship and just ticking off boxes on a marketing sheet. These get a lot of use, and we know what parents really want and need. And above and beyond all of that is they're really good values. They're built to last for a long time, and you get a lot of product for your money. We've got phenomenal customer service. When you call the customer service number, you actually talk to somebody that's sitting literally 100 feet away from me, itself. We stand behind our products. It's a great brand that has products that I think has a good mix of form and function. Of course, a lot of companies like to say that, but I really feel like we walk that line where the products are striking and they're very attractive. But when you go to use them is when you really start to appreciate them. And I think that's a big factor in our success is that the products themselves, when people go to use them, then they become bigger fans. And I think that's a testament.
Well, I can't say enough about UPPAbaby. I can't say enough about both strollers. Like I said before, the Vista is a benchmark, and the Cruz is just, once again, it's the winner this year of the stroller of the year on the show. And it's just the colors, the service, everything about it so far. I can't say enough. For more information, their website information is on the site right now. You can go look on the show's website and watch the program and go check out. Ask to touch and play with an UPPAbaby, and then tell the sales rep at the store ask them if they know how they came up with the name. I wonder if they'll know the story, and we'll know if they actually listen. So that'll be good. Thanks so much for joining us today on the show, Trug.
No problem. Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate it.